Dang me, that's good. Yeah. I know there's some of you who are really needing hot coffee this morning. I invite you to go get as warm as you possibly can. Good morning. It's time for morning coffee with Sandy. That'd be me. Time for a sip and a smile. Good morning, Opa. So, listen, I've been getting reports all morning from you guys telling me it's 30 degrees below. Somebody else said it was 36 below zero. It's what? -2 where you are, Opa? This is like insane. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's dark outside and it's really early. So it's cold here for us. But cold is like, I don't know, 50 degrees and we're freezing. It's going to be like in the 80s again today. Next year, folks, next year, God willing, the pandemic is over. We're going to plan this like amazing, amazing winter wonderland here in the desert. We're going to get all the what do I say, what do I do, Word Art by Sandy fans all together. So here's what I want you to do. Get like a jar or something and just start throwing some coins in it, because a year from now you should have enough to pay for your airline ticket and get out here, and we'll find some like amazing places where we can get you some great deals. I should have my backyard mini house. My son said I should call it Casita Sandita, which I just might do. This is what I got yesterday. Yeah, baby. That would be my pink slip for my first ever. It's not a motorhome, it's a travel trailer, which we have no intention of traveling in. It's going to be our guest house in the back. Yeah, I'm so excited. Here's what I'm excited about: decorating it, having a wonderful, comfy, totally furnished place for my friends and family to come and visit me. Yeah, that's you guys. Mm. We're even made for these temperatures here. It's okay. I'm glad you're made for those temperatures. Personally, I am made for my 80-degree temperature and I'm sticking to it. That's the way it goes. I don't know if you were here yesterday, but if you were part of what turned out to be such a delightful treat and surprise. While I was talking to you, my portal, which is right next to me on my desk, started buzzing. And there was a group call invitation from both of my brothers, two of my children, my niece, and Fritzi. Well, obviously, I'm not going to take a call while I'm talking to you. So I hit decline and I thought, it's 6:10 in the morning. Who is starting a group call? Oh my God, I wonder if something's wrong. But then I realized, no, I'm the one who always starts the group calls. Who could have started it? Fritzi couldn't have done it. Could somebody have done it in Fritzi's room because something's wrong? So I was a little nervous during our time together. And as soon as I got off, before I even finished my work, I went ahead and I pushed, connect. And apparently nobody was on, but it rang for everybody again. And both of my brothers got on. And I called the home and said, hey, could you go check on Fritzi? And if she's awake, put her on the portal. And if she's not awake, wake her up and put her on the portal. Anyway, we had the most delightful morning conversation with Fritzi yesterday. She was in great shape. I mean, considering that, she was like just waking up, she was still in bed. It was really cute. We had a great time with her. So that's my Fritzi report. Ginny's on this morning. Good morning, Ginny. Good morning, JB. Good morning, Henry. It's so good to have mornings with you guys. Anyway, that was my morning surprise. And then last night before I went to bed, my dear, dear friend Susan sent me a message saying that her stepdad had died of COVID last night. My condolences. And Dave, you were quite the guy. I knew him, I'm proud to say, and we will miss you. COVID's taken a lot of our people, folks. A lot of our people. I went to the doctor yesterday and I told her I felt funny coming in because there's so many people with so many serious problems. And I've got these little aches and pains and inconveniences. I should just go home. And she listened to all of my maladies and basically said, "You need to unstress yourself, honey." I suggested marijuana. She suggested there might be alternatives. I can't smoke dope. I get stoned too fast. I remember that from the 60s and 70s. So I just don't do it. I have nothing against it, but I don't do it. In fact, when I drink wine, I usually have like one glass or maybe even a half a glass because I guess I'm too little or I don't know. Oh, my sweetheart's on. Good morning, sweetheart. Thank you for being here with me. I'm far away from you in my studio. Today, we're supposed to have the trailer delivered. As soon as I can, I will do my morning coffee in my new Sandita Casita. Yeah, I really like that idea. Okay, what's today? Oh, there's so much today. Your recent doctor's appointment was on a FaceTime call. I mean, that's the way it works now. It's telemed. So we do here, telemed. 1989, pro wrestling was admitted to be an exhibition and not a sport. Do you know how devastating that was for people like me to find out that I didn't find out in 1789. I'm not that old. But when someone finally told me that pro wrestling was kind of like choreographed, I was devastated. I had a little crush on Ricky Tricky Star. My family was heavily into wrestling. In fact, I had two brothers, and I was probably the biggest tomboy of the crowd. And the five of us used to go to pro wrestling in downtown Los Angeles. We'd see Gorgeous George and Haystacks Calhoun, big guy, Haystacks Calhoun. And there was the Destroyer who wore that mask. And then there was the tag team matches, and there was, but I so loved Ricky Tricky Star. Hulk Hogan was a wrestler. The Rock was a wrestler. John Cena was a wrestler. Andre the Giant was a wrestler. So I'm happy for wrestling. I love wrestling. It was fun. Yeah, we used to go have a good tag team matches were really cool too. Do you remember those? And throwing them and you'd think they were dead and they weren't dead. They'd get up again. Okay, enough for wrestling. In 1942, the first gold record was presented. Yeah, and it's not what you would have expected, not like based on what we've had since. It went to Glenn Miller for "Pardon Me, Boys, is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo?" I love that song. Randy the Macho Man Savage. Hulk Hogan, you met him, huh, Jenny? Ooh, nice. See, this wrestling thing's kind of getting you. You think nobody else but you ever really got into wrestling, but the truth is, I think everybody had a little bit of wrestling in them. The Undertaker. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we could spend the whole 15, 20 minutes just on wrestling. Oh, it's the anniversary of Shirley Temple's death. I cannot think of any one female who had more of an influence on me growing up than Shirley Temple. I didn't want to be her. I really didn't. I just wanted to watch her. And I still feel the same way. In the days when we had, what do you call it? Not CDs, but DVDs? No, not DVDs. Before that. Come on, help me out here. It was like put it in the VCR. Oh, VCRs. Okay, anyway, back in those days, I had every single solitary Shirley Temple movie on VHS tape that you could possibly have. And then they went and made discs and cassettes, and I had all that stuff. But now I don't have any of it. And unfortunately, there's not free ones. You have to pay for them every time you want to watch one. And Shirley Temple movies just make me feel good. Yeah. What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite? I liked all of them. Have you ever seen the Shirley Temple movies where she's really little and it's like baby porn? Have you seen those? Check it out. It's like weird. All the little kids and they're really little wearing just diapers, and she pretends to be like a sexy bar girl in one and a gangster mall in another one, and there's all these innuendos and double entendres. They're really kind of nasty, I gotta tell you. Not like animal crackers in my soup, monkeys and bears that loop the loop. Anyway, I used to have a Shirley Temple doll. Well, my mother had one of the original, two of the original Shirley Temple dolls. One disappeared, and the other one, she gave it to me when I was too young. I gave it a haircut. So much for the value of a Shirley Temple doll, huh? Oh, wait a minute. JB, was Shirley Temple at the Shirley Temple tea in Santa Monica on her birthday? Really? Really? That was so cool. Anyway, I love my Shirley Temple doll. I loved everything about Shirley Temple. Rest in peace, Shirley Temple Black. Rest in peace. In 1940, it was the first episode of Tom and Jerry cartoon from Hanna-Barbera. Why is that important to me? I think I have mentioned Dawes Butler before. Dawes Butler was the voice of Hanna-Barbera. He was Spike the Bulldog and Butch the Cat in Tom and Jerry, but he was also Yogi Bear and Quick Draw McGraw and Huckleberry Hound and Snagglepuss and Augie Doggy. He was amazing. Dawes Butler has passed away, but he was my dear friend Lori. He was Lori's coach. She's still an actress. You've seen her, I promise you. Anyway, he was her coach. And one day, I guess I went with her to his house in Beverly Hills. She had to pick something up or drop something off, and he invited us to come in, and we were talking for a while, and he said to me, "Are you an actress?" And I said, "No, just a person." He said, "Do you do voiceovers?" And I said, "No." And he said, "You should be doing voiceovers. I want to train you." I said, "Oh, that would be cool." And he said, "No, I want to train you. What are you doing next Tuesday at 10 o'clock or whatever he said?" And I said, "Oh, you're serious?" I said, "I can't afford you." And he looked at me and he said, "I didn't ask you for money. I told you I want to train you." I have never been so flattered and excited in my life. And I showed up the next week ready to go. He worked with me for about an hour and he gave me all these assignments and these papers to practice on and things to do. I mean, it was fantastic. I went back the following week and we worked again. I think we only ended up getting together like maybe 4 times. And he was really grooming me. And then he passed away. Yeah. Aside from the fact that that was the end of my voiceover career because I never pursued it without Dawes Butler's help, he was just so awesome. I never actually did any voiceovers, but I did do a bunch of commercials for myself and for other people's businesses. No, like I told you, I did a lot of television and radio, but I did it as me, as Sandye. I wasn't an actress. I was a personality. And that was kind of fun because it was like no work. I didn't have to memorize anything. I just had to be me. That was it. But rest in peace, Dawes Butler, but hooray for Tom and Jerry. Today is all the news that's fit to print day. Do you know that that's been on the masthead of the New York Times for over 100 years? Yeah, pretty good. I read online all the different suggestions for what should go on the masthead. Some of them were pretty funny, but that one stuck. Okay, here's the really important thing. It's cream cheese brownie day. I'm sorry, but Are there two things that like make me smile food-wise much more than brownies and cream cheese and putting them together? My Auntie Lou. My Auntie Lou is 90. Unfortunately, she's not baking a lot anymore. I wish she would, but she did give me the recipe for her cream cheese brownies, which are out of this world. And I think I'm going to have to try it because she's not going to make them for me anymore. She told me cream cheese brownies. It's like a brownie with like this swirl of cream cheese through it. Today is the day for that. It's Daytona Pole Day. You know, the Daytona 500, although it will look a little different than in past years, is being held on Valentine's Day. And I guess Pole Day is the day that people bring out their cars and try and compete to get a spot in the race. I think it's Flannel Day. I forgot to get my flannel. But for those of you who are not in my desert, you need your flannels today. Go get them, please. I will look for the recipe, Ginny, and when I find it, I will share it. And by the way, thank you for sharing the recipe for pizza dough. We had pizza last night, homemade pizza. Oh my God, my guy, I forgot he's done everything, but he used to work in a pizza place and he has a dough maker machine, whatever you call it. Anyway, he forgot to turn it on, so he did it by himself, but he made this phenomenal dough. And we put the most delicious things on the pizza. I had one piece left that I was saving for lunch today. And Bailey jumped up on the table and started licking it and eating it. So I had to throw it away. Made me sad. But, you know, I mean, it was pizza day. Had to have pizza. It's umbrella day. My Uncle Jack had an umbrella factory. Seriously. In fact, one of my dad's first jobs was peddling umbrellas. Yeah, who knew that? What a beginning, huh? So we always had umbrellas in the house. But never opened it in the house. No. Our big umbrella outside, we had to throw it away because it broke. I live in a very windy place. When I had my own place, I would say probably twice a year, I had to replace my big outdoor umbrellas because the wind, even when they were closed, would fly them out of the patio and smash them outside of my patio. Yeah. Yes. It's Teddy week. It's Valentine's week, and today is Teddy Bear Day. So if you're following all this, I think it's kind of silly. But if you're following it, today is the day to give your lover a teddy bear. Yes. And it's Plimsoll Day. I thought that was like some kind of frou-frou drink. Turns out it's a guy named Samuel Plimsoll. And if you're a sailor, you probably already knew that because he invented something called a Plimsoll line, which made sailing safer. I vomit when I sail, so, you know, like I wouldn't know these things. Ginny lives in California, so Ginny knows. She always keeps an extra patio umbrella. That's what I used to do. An extra umbrella and an extra stand. Marlene says they don't do Valentine's, just a family dinner and a homemade cake. Do you do like a heart-shaped cake? I'm just asking. Oh, okay, quick story and then I'm going. I have always loved teddy bears. I have all kinds of bears, right? When I was a senior in high school, or maybe I was a freshman in college, I was at Disneyland, and my then boyfriend, Mark, who was unfortunately killed in Vietnam, but he was very much alive then, he bought me this teddy bear that was almost exactly the same size as I am, or was. Because I'm about the same size. Anyway, he bought me this ginormous teddy bear that lived in the dorm with me. And the teddy bear's name was Warren Otis Animal. That was his name, or WOA for short. And everybody in the dorm knew about Warren Otis Animal. You never just called him Warren. He was always Warren Otis Animal. One day, he disappeared from my room and there was a ransom note. Swear to God. There was a ransom note on my door and Warren was gone. And it was like, if you want to get him back alive, you have to do this and do that. Okay, this is going to be hard to believe unless you know me well. I went to the campus police and I reported a missing person. And I didn't tell them it was a bear. at first. I went through the entire process, giving them height, weight, eye color, all the details. And then I finally told them it was a giant teddy bear. I thought they were going to have me arrested right on the spot, but I did. I went out and I reported Warren Otis animal as a missing Warren Otis animal. Okay, that's it. I love you guys. I love you madly. Have like the best Wednesday ever. Keep us all in your heart and start that jar. Start saving your money for your plane fare to Palm Springs International Airport. I'll make sure you get a ride here. You got it. Peace and sparkles to you, Marlene. Bye-bye, everybody.